So, is it better in the morning or evening, or is it pretty much all day? Serious?
Yep.
I figured it was all day.
Yep.
'Cause it's
Sometimes
just so
I won't
deep.
even come out till 1 in the afternoon. It'll just be a slaughter. Sometimes it doesn't even start getting good till 11 in the morning.
I've had that jigging too, yeah. Huh? Yeah, 'cause I've seen the boats out here running just all day long, and I'm like, gotta be producing.
Sensitivity.
A little high.
Just to get that salt and pepper. If I go too much more, then it gets shitty. But
You like that much clutter?
that's about it. Yeah. Just where you're getting that salt and pepper on there.
Okay.
Then I've had my sensitivity accidentally a little too low. Could not find fish. I took my son jigging one time.
Mhm.
We tootled around for a freaking hour just trying to find some fish. I don't know what's going on. And Brendan goes, check your sensitivity. What? I looked, it's like down to 70. So I started cranking it up, and all of a sudden all these fish started appearing on the bottom. They were there the whole time. Sharp shot, right?
That's I haven't used them that small, but I do have some of those
Little paddle tail.
paddle tails that aren't the gulp. They do good, all right. Yeah.
Every time I take a day off, work always calls because they got some sort of damn problem. X-ray machine's doing this. This is doing this. What's going on?
That's where that's what we're talking to.
Yeah. Trying to print some films off the film printer. Is that your fish?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I got freaking called yesterday. They're like, "Oh, we're supposed to send an order in today," and I'm like, no." Distribution's calling. I'm like, no, they're wrong. All right, well, let me know.
Yeah. That's awesome.
What do you think, huh? Not too shabby.
I like how chewy it is.
A little tougher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, almost like jerky.
Mm-hmm. So how do you make this again?
It's got a good smoke flavor to it.
Mhm. It's gonna be hard to beat. So that's basically you get a big bowl, I don't know, popcorn-sized bowl, fill it about a third, halfway with water. Throw in 2 bags of brown sugar, dark brown. 24-ounce thing of honey or so. Throw that in the microwave for a minute to get it hot, so it kind of mixes up really good. And then about a cup or so of pickling salt. You can go, that's probably about a cup there, maybe a little more, give or take. 3/4 is enough. You don't want to definitely oversalt it. The seasoning beyond the honey and brown sugar basically is about another half cup of soy sauce, about a cup of Yoshida's teriyaki. I love that stuff.
So there is Yoshida's in here.
There's some Yoshida's, and then there's Worcestershire too. Worcestershire, about maybe 3/4 to a cup or something like that, of Worcestershire, and then some Old Bay, tablespoon or 2 of that, and Lawry's salmon seasoning. They don't sell it everywhere, but they make a deer or a wild game one, and then they make a salmon one too. and you know, about the same amount of that. And that's it. It's pretty basic. It's kind of a blend between the salmon candy and my teriyaki soy and seasonal version. I made it without
Dude,
the.
this is freaking delicious.
Yeah, I think it's pretty spot on. I don't think I'm gonna change that too much. I mean, it's not too salty. It's not too sugary or anything, you know.
I just
Ah,
like how
digging.
hard or tough it gets.
Yeah, and that's part of the curing
The
process.
from the pickling salt.
Yeah, so it 2 days in the brine, right? 2 full days, and I just throw it in that cooler with ice, you know, and go. And here's the key too: you got to get in there and mix that stuff up because it sticks together. You want it to really get all the way through.
Pulls all the water out. Got to.
Toughens it up. Yep. But I go out there and I have the bag in the cooler, and I'll just shake the crap out of it, you know, in the morning and the evening, and make sure that it's getting all mixed up.
Do you pull bones out?
Yeah, it should be mostly boneless. That's all skinless, boneless, all that stuff. The Y bone and the rib bones.
That's what I like. I hate picking out bones on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a
It
pain.
almost makes it unappetizing.
Yeah. Took like 2 freaking hours to process those fish. It was 24 of them, you know, 4 days with it. So, but you get a good product though. Yeah. When I was camping just a week ago.
Can you get in trouble for having that much?
I thought about that too, because it says you can only have like 3
I think it was 2.
on hand or something like that. I was like, huh, whatever.
Somehow I don't think Fish and Game would give a shit.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, so after the cure process, when you get to smoke it, I use toothpicks to put it on the rack so you can really pack that smoker, right?
Yeah.
And then let it cure. Just let it sit there for like 2.5, 3 hours, and that honey kind of solidifies on the outside and gives it that coat. And the good thing about it, when you put honey into that kind of stuff, is honey's, you know, antibiotic, antimicrobial, so it keeps it's a preservative too, you know, beyond the salt and the sugar. So that stuff, you could probably leave that sit outside, you know.
They say honey will never go back.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they found it in like tombs in Egypt, and it was still like it had solidified and turned into, you know, like a block, but they're like nothing wrong with it.
Mold.
Yeah. That's good shit, huh?
Like my father-in-law decided he's gonna go put beehives all over our property, and it's his property. I mean, it's not my property; it's his wife's parents' property. It's what it is.
Mhm.
Did they come and put those there?
Oh yeah, they put them right up by. I mean, it's not really close to the house, but it's close enough. But honeybees, I don't mind. I'm getting used to them more so than the freaking hornets,
Yeah, those are a pain.
yellow jackets, whatever. I hate those. We got they're
Hornets.
so
Why is
thick.
there so many hornets out there?
I don't know. Last 2 years have been too thick with them. I kill their nests, spray them.
A good easy way to get rid of them is take a 5-gallon bucket. That's what I do out here sometimes, or camping. A string on a green limb with bacon, and have that bacon just above the bucket with soapy water, and then they'll get a chunk where they can't go too far.
And hot dogs.
Or hot dog,
We'll
yep.
skewer a bunch of hot dogs on it. Put the, stick across the bucket lid.
Mhm. And
Fill the thing full of water and put some soap in there. Or cooking oil. And the cooking oil will sit and float on the top.
that'll work too, yeah.
Well, I said I just put up bee traps. I filled up 4 of them this year.
And they're
Like,
still
that much full of freaking all the way up to the top of the cone. Like the thing is about this big, but the cone comes bigger.
Mhm.
I filled up 4 of those already. Actually, I filled up 6 of them because I have another smaller one that I've emptied too.
And those aren't cheap. They're like $10, aren't they? Those stupid little bee traps. I was looking at those. Yeah.
I think the one I got was like 5 or 6.
Those typical green ones are about $10 each.
I put some dog food in it. On the bottom of it.
Dry dog food?
Because they won't leave our, like if I put the cat food out or something like that, they'll devour the cat food, and they can go through like that much on the bottom of the bowl, and it's gone in an hour.
The wet cat food?
Dry.
They just haul that shit right off, huh?
They'll chunk it up and dry and haul it off. So if I put dog food out there, it's a little bit heavier. They won't eat that as that. They'll still come out there and bite it and take chunks of it. Grab a beer out of there.
Yeah.
ever troll in your boat?
You know, I've tried a couple times. I actually tried earlier this spring. I was trolling some of the newer Rapalas.
Just for trout or whatever?
Nah, I caught a mac on it. I was trying
you're up here.
Yeah.
I'm just talking any.
Oh, troll? Oh, yeah. Obviously the bottom walking for the walleye at the arm, which I guess is on fire right now. They're yarding in a lot of good-sized fish.
Fucker broke that.
Huh?
Was that broken?
Yeah. I was gonna open it up to put my beer in it, but it's
Fell apart on you?
I don't mind going out to Sprague, you know, early in the year. That's always pretty good. Just wedding rings and lead line.
Yeah, I used to love Sprague when it had the walleye in it.
I fished it, but we could never figure it out. It always seemed like we got out there when that stupid algae bloom was so intense that you just couldn't catch anything.
Dancer needs some more beer holders in here.
That's bullshit. Spend that much on a boat, doesn't even come with a radio. Two fucking cup holders.
That's true. It doesn't have a radio.
No.
That's bullshit.
It doesn't even have that freaking hour meter to tell me how many hours are on my motor. Well, every 100 hours you need to get an oil change and a service on your motor. Well, how do I know when 100 hours goes by? I just guesstimate.
Okay.
Come on, fish.
That first one was pretty quick. Where do you work at?
Spokane Orthopedics.
Oh.
I'm their X-ray guy. Got 4 surgeons, a couple physician assistants. It's fun. I go to work to relax. Being at home just means chores and work.
Yeah. You wanna buy a place out in the country? I think that's work and shit.
We've looked all over. There is a
Weren't you living up on South Hill?
Lower South Hill, yeah. Made her sell that damn thing. Now we're living in the basement at my folks' house. So we want to get out somewhere, 5 acres, some trees, just spread the hell out a little bit. Can't stand neighbors. I want to shop to park the boat in.
Yeah. There's a really nice place up by our house, but it's $400,000.
Where at?
Right off of the Camp Road. It's got a little pond on it. Fucking gorgeous. And there's these shrubs. They're in front of it, so you can't really see it. So it's kind of back. It's just up. You know where Forker is?
Mm-hmm.
It's right before you get to our place, and just after Cooper.
So do I go past Forker?
Yeah. Well, no. You'll take that left where Forker branches off to the right.
Yeah.
Keep going around to the left a little bit, and it's right before you get to you know where Holcomb and Cooper Road.
Kinda.
Right before you get to our road.
Okay.
It's past Cooper and before Holcomb.
We saw a place out there. We take a right on Forker, and you go a couple 3 miles on Forker, and it was awesome up in there. Big old huge freaking house on a hillside, and it overlooked its own 10 acres, and. But
yeah, it's got a little creek by it. It runs right by the Spokane River, or the Spokane.
That creek that comes down off of the mountain?
Yeah. But it's, I think, $400,000.
Yeah, screw that.
But it's worth it, I tell you. Look, it's 3 bedrooms. 3 bath.
Yeah. Does that have a shop?
Yeah.
Does it? We found a place up on Green Bluff. I'd love to live up on Green Bluff.
Yeah.
So there's a little 4-acre orchard up there. It's got a 40 by 60 shop, a built-in office inside that shop. But it's got like 280 fruit trees on it. Most of them are cherries. It's right on the main stretch up there.
Yeah.
And the neighbor is the one that does all the farming on this property. So basically, you lease property to the neighbors, and they pay you, I don't know, $1,000 a year, or whatever they do. And it's got this beautiful view of Mount Spokane, and this awesome little cute farmhouse. But it's $350,000. Just to buy potentially a fucking headache from hell. And what if the neighbors one day say, they don't want to farm no more?
Well, and Melody bought that apple farm, and Ed just cut all the trees down. He's like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. He did it for a few years.
Yeah.
And realized it's a pain in the ass. He's like, fuck it.
Gone. What time is it, Jeff? Or is
It's
it
9,
9?
a little after.
So we'll give this another little while. And the fight, as the summer goes on, the fight up north is a little bit better than it is down here.
Fish.
There's a big old fish showing up on the screen right
Oh
now.
yeah. Oh, that the fish is smoked with alder too.
Yeah, good.
You got to use alder.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've learned that one the hard way.
Mesquite, hickory, all that stuff ruins it. It just tastes smoke.
I remember my brother, my brother caught a whole bunch of trout, and he filleted them all out. He soaked them in his favorite brine, but his smoker died. He's like, dude, Brian, will you smoke all these fish? I'm like, sure, bring them over. For some reason, I said, you need to go buy some chips, because I'm all out. And I said, buy alder. Well, he bought mesquite.
Oh no.
I'm like, fuck it, just smoke it with the mesquite, because I don't want to go back up and Fred Meyer. Jim, I'm warning you. How many hours do you have in all these fish? It's like, I got a lot of hours. All the prep, you know what it takes.
Yeah. To get them and then cut. Yeah.
Each tried a piece after they came out of the smoker, and all the rest went straight into the garbage. Seriously, it tasted like the most horrible ashtray you can ever imagine. It was horrible. Fish just soak up all of that stuff. They're so delicate that they soak up all that scent from the smoke. What kind of smoker do you have?
I just got a Big Chief.
That's all I had for years. I loved it.
Once you learn it, it's all you need.
You have a blanket you put over it?
Nah. Not like on a day like today. You just leave it out
Sure.
and it just cooks
But
it.
during winter and all that, I always had a big thick comforter from my old bed.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll get a box and put a box over it so it helps to keep it in.
Oh yeah.
Keeps the smoke in a little more. But one thing I've also learned, so here's another important thing. Number one, to be conscious on not using as much chips. But I've gotten some of these gasifying wood stoves and stuff, right? And they'll burn completely down to nothing, right? So all I've done on the last several batches is just continue to top off the black that's in there. You get your pan and you pull it out and it's half black. Instead of dumping that, just top it off. And that still produces heat and kind of minimizes the amount of smoke, and that's how you get that kind of cooked but not too much smoke flavor too, right?
Some people think when they smoke fish they gotta produce some smoke but have the temperature up really high. Well, now you're basically cooking your fish instead of smoking it.
And then you get the dry chunks.
Yeah.
And it's like raw in the middle and dry on the outside. That hanging cure too, that 2 or 3 hours, you can go longer too, but a couple hours is all it really takes to form a pellicle. Yeah.
Yeah, when I pull my fish out of my wet brine, I lay them all out on cookie sheets with paper towel underneath. I just lay them out for a couple, 3 hours, and then they get that soft, kind of tacky skin on the outside. And boom, time to go in the smoker. I had to Google the reason for that pellicle. You know what it is? Button right there. Yep. If you have a wet fillet, smoke does not like to penetrate the moisture on the outside. It's tough for the smoke to get in through the wetness and all that.